commitments that they will respond to our needs, then go. Pero the thing is that we are not sure. The thing is that, di ba sinabi ni Rex, nasabi ni Rex, what is the convergence between the interests of the United States and the interests of the Philippines? Because if you can see, we are very much vocal of our interest. Ang interest natin is for the United States to defend us in case of a confrontation. Pero ano ba yung masasabi ng United States? Thing is that, for the past years, the US has not been very clear on what it will really do. It has made posturing, but not clear and definite. So kung tatanungin ako ngayon, bibigyan ko ba sila ng basis? Hindi. Gusto ko muna, meron silang assurance sa klaro sa akin. But the thing is that, yung argument for this one, for the increased rotational presence, these are not bases. These are only access to facilities. But the basis itself, the jurisdiction for this, the jurisdiction for these areas are within the government. Pag basis kasi, hindi ka kaagad, examples, dali yung sa Subic, hindi kaagad ang Pilipino pwede pumasok sa mga lugar na yon without the permission. Kasi parang embassy siya. Hindi ka pwede pumasok sa embassy ng US hanggang hindi ka magpapaalam sa US. So yung parang small country within the country, yun ang embassy, di ba? Yung ang bases, parang ganun din. Pero ang increased rotational presence, hindi naman ganun. Yung jurisdiction, yung authority within that. So ang mangyayari, nasa loob sila ng kampo ng Pilipinas. They will assure us that they will follow the rules and regulations of the country. They are not independent country or free or...
Ako, ang dapat question dyan is that, gusto ba ng US magkaroon ng US bases dito? That's supposed to be the question. Because we are already saying that, oh, United States, you cannot put up bases here. Pero ang question, but gusto ba nila? No, in a recent study, they don't like to do so anymore because it's more cost efficient for them. They have advanced technology enough that they don't need bases anymore. They just want navigation, as mentioned ni Rex kanina, navigational freedom because of their strong navy. Ang yun na lang kailangan nila. Ang pinopropose lang nila is increase rotational presence. Because let us distinguish US bases, no? If we give them US bases, it's not allowed within the Constitution because you're giving up sovereignty. Dahil yung binigay mong US bases na yun, sila yung magkocontrol nun. That's the reason why we have the VFA right now. Pag pumunta sila dito, they are within our rules. They will abide by our rules. Kasi pag pinasok mo na yung bases, hindi mo na pwedeng implement yung rules doon. No? So, kapag may Amerikano, correct me Rex if I'm right, kapag may Amerikano, no, gumawa ng krimen sa Olongapo, pumasok ng Subic, hindi na siya pwedeng hulihin ng pulis doon. Because he already has political immunity. Because he is already within the territory of the... Yun ang nagiging problema before when we have US bases. That's why ngayon, since walang US bases, there is the Visiting Forces Agreement. That when they go here, they will abide by our house rules. So that's the difference. But ayaw na nga, hindi, ang question nga doon is, gusto ba ng mga Amerikano magkaroon ng US bases dito? It's not that, hindi yun yung thing doon eh. They don't like it anymore. Hindi na nila gusto yun. In fact, in other countries, they are being paid just to maintain their bases because remember the robustness of US economy is not that good anymore. Hindi na siya masyadong to make it short, no, they have budget cuts. And one of those who suffered on budget cuts is their defense. Overseas defense, no? Yung ano nila, yung overseas military nila. And kung may budget cuts ka, how much ang mag-maintain ng isang base? Malaki. And kung titignan nyo yung figures, marami na silang bases na sinara. Okay? So, next question.
Thank you.
Si Ana.
Good afternoon po. Narinig ko po kanina yung mga sagot niyo po sa mga nagtanong about dun sa disputed island. Kasi po sa Sa akin lang naman to
Yung ano lang. Sige, sa'yo na yan.
Ano po? Kasi, di ba po, sabi niyo po sa UNCLOS, if we follow the law of UNCLOS, hindi pwede yung historical claims. Then, way back sa panahon po ni Marcos, yung sa Saba, di ba po ang ginamit natin doon is historical claims lang po. Kaya po, hindi po siya medyo tinatanggap ngayon ng UNCLOS. Ngayon po, nangyayari po ulit yung ganong senaryo. Kaso ang nangyayari po is, China po yung gumagawa nun sa Pilipinas. So bakit po pa natin nilalagay sa danger yung bansa kung ginawa naman natin dati yon sa ibang bansa, which is, sabi niyo po nga, pinapangalagaan lang natin yung sovereignty natin. Bakit po hindi natin kinilala yung sovereignty ng ibang bansa sa pag-claim natin ng Saba? Tapos, ngayon, pinaglalaban natin yung UNCLOS na hindi naman nagawa ng ibang bansa nung kiniklaim natin yung Saba.
Actually, sorry. I'll answer it. I'll just give my opinion on this. Pagdating kasi sa Saba and the UNCLOS, una, I would like to point out that the actions made by JEROME and his men were not the official actions made by the government. So, ibig sabihin nun, yung ginawa ni JEROME and his men to claim the Saba and to invade Saba is not the actions made by the government. Alam actually ng current administration that it is a conflicting claim. It's a very difficult, complex claim, the Saba claim. That's why they putting it in the back burner or lagi nilang ini-ignore. Kasi pagdating natin, di ba, if you look into the international relations, may dalawang bagay para masasabi mo na sa iyo ang lugar. Una, may effective occupation ka. Pangalawa, effective occupation, ibig sabihin, nandoon yung mga may government ka doon, may lahat ng elements of the state, of territory, sovereignty. So, you have effective control. Pangalawa yata, nakalimutan ko. Nakalimutan ko yung pangalawa, pero maalala ko mamaya. Yun, ang tanong is that, the Philippine government realizes that it cannot win, with all due respect to the Philippines, it cannot win on the Saba claim. Una, the actions made by the JEROME's group does not reflect the actions that was supposed to be made by the Philippine government. Pangalawa, Malaysia has effective occupation on Saba. So, kung masasabi ba natin, bakit nag-flip-flop ang Philippines? Una, ina-advocate na yung UNCLOS, tapos historical claim naman yung gusto niya for Saba. Actually, nare-realize yan ng government natin na hindi niya pwedeng gamitin yung historical claim for Saba because the Sabahans themselves do not consider themselves Filipino but Sabahans themselves. Ayun. Yan lang masasabi ko. So, yung ginawa sa Saba na pagsakop ay hindi gawa ng gobyerno, kundi gawa ng Kira. Thank you po.
Next question. Neil.
Good afternoon po mga fellow speakers. Sir, regarding po your own conclusions, I see na may possible pang pwede mag-win-win solution na makuha natin ang mga claims regarding the islands. But I think it is not an institutional aspect. But I prefer, if this is just a suggestion, why not Philippines apply for federal union? Maging federal.
Maging federal state. The problem is that if to win the
conclusion 1, 5, and 6.
Dapat pinopost mo muna.
Can you put the
What do you mean by federal union? Could you please be more specific about it?
Ma'am, pwede po makigbalik.
Pwede palagay
1, 5, 6.
conclusion 5?
Parang i-EU.
Yes, ma'am. Kasi kung pagbabasyan, parang ang mangyayari sa states, ang Pilipinas, magiging part ng Amerika.
Okay. Wait. You're telling me that we have to be a state of the United States. Is that what you mean?
To apply federal.
Mag-apply tayo sa US ngayon as maging state nila?
Huwag natin
Hindi, maging parang American.
Parang American.
Maging federal.
Okay. Okay, as a federal state. So that means to say,
156.
we'll have the Luzon state, we have the Visayas state, and the Mindanao state. But all in all, they are still under one Philippine Republic. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, and then, if we're going to do that, it would address what? Number 1?
1, 5, and 6.
Okay, how do you think it would
Kasi,
address?
number 1, yung legal attribution of the issues of the ICE. Kasi, to be honest, kaya nadadoubt din ako dyan. Kung titignan natin in international relations, ang treaty, masakit magtanggapin, wala talaga nangyayari. Gagawa ng treaty ang ang mga bansa, hindi rin naman natutupad. For example, World War I, nagkaroon na ng treaty. Wala nang gulo, tama na, pero nagkaroon ng World War II. Then, kung magiging malakas, pasensya na po, iyaano ka lang rin yung nagkaroon ng dalawa. Masakit man, pero may pagkakataon na kailangan din natin tignan yung realistic perspective. Second, if we will check our constitution, Article 1, dapat protektahan natin yung sovereign rights natin eh. But sad to say, even our own government cannot sustain an amount to budget the military. Yun ang nakakalungkot na isipin na ang dami kasi problema eh. Sa napakadaming problema natin na habang tumatagal, ang problema mas dumadami. Kaya that's the only, yun lang yung idea ko sir na why not na mag-apply for federal union na kung titignan, baka pag nangyari yun, mas maging mura yung pagkain ng Pilipinas. Mga possible aspects sir.
Okay, if we're turning our political regime into a federalist state, so that you would be able to answer number 1, 5, and 6. Okay. As for the case number 1, legal arbitration, we need not to be a federal state. Okay? Even if we are a unitary state, we could in fact lodge a complaint and it lost. In fact, we're doing it now. We have lodged a complaint and it lost so that we'd be able to resolve the issue. As I was saying, even though, assuming for the sake of discussion that it loss would resolve the issue in favor of the Philippines, the problem would be, would China accede to the decision of it loss? Because China, in effect, would invoke its sovereign right over these disputed territories. Number 5, improved military capability. In fact, the Philippine government, as I've said and as we have reiterated a while ago, we have bought another Hamilton-class cutter. Now, our objective is not to have, a strong military capability, but at least to have a minimum credible defense posture. Support U.S. military presence. In fact, we are now on the negotiation with the increased rotational presence. So these are parts of the Philippine policies. What I have presented there is basically the implications of this tension towards Philippine security policies. And in fact, those you have pointed out, number 1, number 5, and number 6, is currently being done by the Philippine government. So even without turning ourselves into a federal state, we could in fact do this.
An additional lang. Siguro we have to look into the US example for that. Because even if we turn it to federal, tingnan natin, di ba meron tayong in political science, there are devolution of states. Magkakaroon sila ng devolution of states. Magkakaroon sila ng autonomy. But if you look into the United States example, national security, foreign policy, still within the national level, national government. Hindi siya sa federal state. Example, Texas. Texas cannot engage with China as a state. Texas should engage with China as represented by the national government. So yun yung mangyayari. Even if we turn into a federal state, it will not really cause or affect or has an effect on our claim.
I have a question for Neil. What you are trying to ask is that for the Philippines to be a federal state of the United States. Is that right? Okay. that is tantamount to surrendering the sovereignty, and it's against the Constitution. We have a Constitution to follow. No? So it's a very, very complex thing, no, na gagawin. Although you're saying is that that would only be the solution for this, para yun yung nakikita yung possible solution. Okay. It's more on more on political science now rather than the international relations, because you are now putting up political implications on it. First, you have to deal with local problems with that. If you're going to, the mere fact of saying that we would like to be a part of the United States, ang dami na kagad tao, magiging divided lalo tayo. I believe me on this. Number two, I gave this as a lecture to the III-PCY, to all of them, no? About, remember my side lecture about public administration? Yes. About political ideologies? Yes. What is the Filipino political ideology? Up to now, we don't know. And now, magpapailalim tayo sa US. And we still don't know what is our political ideology. We still don't know what is our national ideology. We know that we are Filipinos, but do you know your political ideology? In Indonesia, as I have said, they have political ideologies which is called Pangkasila. They know what they are. They know their identity. And as the Filipinos is still to be considered, we still have to grow. So, with that, I would say, my answer to Neil, no, we are indeed facing problems, but don't lose hope. No, don't lose hope with the Filipinos. We can still do this. Rally behind the Filipino rather than saying, okay, we surrender. United States, come here. Invade us. We are now part. Well, ako gusto ko yun. Hindi nyo na kailangan ng visa puntang US. But we lose our identity. We lose our ancestry. We lose our customs. Everything on it.
Sir, to lighten up, kasi baka mamaya isip nila, it is just a proposal, sir.
Yes, I know. Probably nakuha mo yan dun sa subject ko sa inyo kay Rizal. Wherein Rizal is proposing that the Philippines would be a province of Spain. That's actually what he was trying to do. He's not actually trying to make the Philippines independent from Spain, but actually to be part of Spain. So, that idea, that's a good idea, but I don't think realistically will be or in Tagalog kakagatin ng Filipino people. Because I myself, I will not allow it. I will still want to be a Filipino. That's why even though I go to other countries, I still come back here in the Philippines and believe that I am a Filipino. Okay? So, thanks, sir. Yes, si
Tulog pa rin siya.
Mark.
Tulog pa rin siya.